I did record a video actually above there. It's a little snippet of what I recorded, but it's too long. So, and I want to kind of be able to make it easier to see all the notes that I took. So we're gonna go with this format, and we're gonna go point by point, and I'm gonna try my best to remember everything because I'm recording like the day after on a Sunday, and it's a little noisy in here. But anyway, Midori was the one doing the fireside chat, and best believe I will find her and follow her on LinkedIn and connect with her on LinkedIn. Because she was just great. I would like to have her at one of my events because I felt like she was really great. But again, this is a side story. I'll think about what could that be. But she was just great. She has some amazing question. She asked Nikki questions that were allowing us to kind of see it behind the scene of the making of a campaign with a creator. And the process is pretty simple, but what was interesting to me was, okay, so how do brand vet a creator for the campaign? So they will use a software to check how many fake followers you have. Yeah. And although they might tolerate that you have fake followers, they might not tolerate a certain number. So not only they can check that you have fake followers, they can check how many you have. And if it's above what they tolerate, they're not gonna work with you. And then the other two steps are all about alignment. Do you align with the brain? So one big um, alignment that we'll do is does your demographic, your audience demographic, align with the market that they are in, which makes totally sense. Like for me as a business owner, I feel like this just it just makes sense. It's so simple, and it's also overlooked, right? And but it makes so much sense because if a brand is trying to sell their product in the US, it wouldn't make sense to work with a creator with an audience that lives in the UK, or that is mostly in the UK, for example. And this is exactly the example that she took at the US UK example. And so it's like you as a creator, instead of pitching to US brands, look at your demographic, where are they located at? Reach out to brands that are there and then show them your data. Show them that, hey, most of my audience, they come from your country or the market that you're in, and they mostly, I want to present your product to them and all that, and then you can, you know, anyway. So you have to kind of like think think in a very counterintuitive way. It's not because you're doing content in the US that you might want to work with the US brand. You want to look at where your audience is at and you want to work with them. Another subject. Um, they're also gonna do creator content alignment because again, uh, first of all, that you fit the campaign that they're trying to do. Do you fit the brand themselves, right? And how they do that, because I've done branding for a couple of like startups and businesses. When you do branding, even choosing the color, the font, and then how big, how small, the size as well as that, all of it impacts the person, like creates a certain persona or create a certain feeling in people. And if they were supposed to personify the brand or personify the brand, yeah, that will be the persona of the brand. So for example, I'll take an example like Tiffany. I was about to say Tiffany. Tiffany, if you do Tiffany, it's elegant. And then when you look at all the media they put out there, and they're really good at making sure you will assimilate them with the persona, which is very rich, very posh, very elegant, very a little bit of mystery. And Tiffany has a little bit of mystery in it. But very elegant, very simple, very luxurious. They're not doing too much. The too much is in the jewelries that you wear, like the statement that you're making, like, oh yeah, I have money and I'm from the upper class, whatever. It comes from the thing. You don't have to do some, the hair is slick, the hair is like So I'm just telling you how I feel when I the Tiffany comes, and it's if you were to Google, you'll kind of realize that that's exactly the persona of Tiffany, because they're doing a pretty good job of putting content out there to solidify that persona. So you want to fit the persona of the brand, right? So if you like, let's say if I'm talking about Tiffany, and Tiffany is very expensive, but you on the affordable side, sustainable side, you can't work with Tiffany. It's just, and I'm not saying that you don't align with the brand, because you align with another brand. You could be like, which other jewelry brand is good? I don't even think there's any jewelry brand out there that's like massive that's good. Unless you're working like a small family jewelry. Yeah, you will fit that because it'll make more sense. It will align with the persona of the brand, and then your brand as well as a creator. So, and then this also this kind of luxury, whatever, comes into the niche as well. Like, are you luxury? Are you affordable? Because it wouldn't make sense for someone that's like does a lot of like Gucci and Dior product placement to all of a sudden start talking about Elf and stuff like that. It it's not bad if they use Elf. It's to use Elf. It's what it is, right? There's no shaming in that, but for a brand, it wouldn't make sense for them to come and be like, "Yeah, start talking about my thing in an ad." And then, especially now, when you're doing a post with you working with a brand, you have to specify that this is an ad, right? So, but you want the ad to be something that's like still relatable, still it doesn't feel forced, like, oh, she's doing it for the money, you know what I mean? So yeah, something like that. But yeah, anyway, so once they do all of this process, if you pass, you faithful is acceptable, your audience aligns with the market, your content align with the persona of the brand, yeah, then you get to work with them. Now, if you already work with the brand, how do you make sure you get to keep working with them? So one thing, she gave a lot of example, but two main points that I was able to kind of jot down was that you have to have good work ethic. Like, you have to make sure you respect your deadline. Like, instead of make sure you submit your work before, I would say. So there's a saying in some fields, I don't think it's applied to content creation, but you could also use, if it might help you, to say, if you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're late. You're very late, right? But if you're on time, you're late. And then, so you want to do it before. So if you could do it before the deadline, so it also will make it easier for yourself. Like, it will make it that if they have any editing they want you to do, you get to do it, and then get to move on, get to start working on the next project, or kind of like brainstorming something else, and probably make suggestions to them, and kind of like create that relationship, like, hey, I know we're already done working on this, but for the next one we could do this and do this. Let me know how when you want us to work on it, and then I will, and then we can start working on that. So this is a good big good point that big advice that she gave, that I had to jot down. She said something about like the type of content also that you do. You can't just be doing come work with me, or in a day in the life of type of content. You want to offer much more, like, I feel like I don't she didn't say it, but from my understanding, I feel like she means like you have to be good at doing product placement. You kind of have to be able to be good at this. You have to be, basically you have to be good at sales without selling. All right, so here we're talking about like tips for micro creators. This is throughout the chat. She made this. There was mention of a lot of good tips that she gave throughout the chat. So Nikki was really kind on that part. So what she said that was really important, that I felt like I needed to jot down, was that you need to pitch to brains. As a micro creator, you have to do that. I mean, this is what creators do. I mean, this I didn't know, because I thought, you put the content and the brain would come to you. I think this year has been incredible at kind of debunking the idea, just make the product and the people will come to you. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. So the way it works is that you have to pitch to brain as a micro creator. You're not about just you're gonna take the content, put it on Instagram, and then wait for people to come to you. I mean, it yesterday when I was recording about it, I was like, but there are some exceptions. Yeah, but some people get lucky like that. Some people get blessed like that. In your case, if you're a micro creator, you started, you have a couple of posts and you're doing pretty well, and you have a good engagement rate, like start reaching out to brains. And even if you don't have those and you have a little something, start reaching out to brains. But she's saying don't only reach out to brands, also reach out to marketing agencies, because they are the one that will source the creators for the brands, and they are not only working to with one brand, they're working with multiple brands. You know what I mean? So you when you reach out to a brand, you're exposing yourself. No, I don't know if it's exposing, but it's like you're showing your. I don't know what would be the good picture of that. I'm trying to paint a good picture of that. It's like you are showing your content, presenting your brand to just one brand, right? But when you're doing it with a marketing agency, you're doing that to a marketing agency, it could be like 10 plus, most, and not even 10 plus. It could be much more than that. So you get a shot at multiple, like you have more possibilities. It's more rewarding. And then she also explained that when you pitch to them and they do not answer, it doesn't mean that they didn't see you. They might have seen you, but they have nothing. Like they have no campaign that they're working on, but they will put you in their roster. So you want to keep that in mind, like when you reach out to them. I feel like sometimes you get frustrated. Do not take your frustration off of those people. Do not burn bridges you haven't even walked on. Okay, don't do that. So you reach out to them. They're not saying anything. It's fine. Just think about, oh, I'm on the roster, and then you can follow up. She says she's okay with people following up. She actually likes it, but that I feel like this is kind of a personal thing. So people might be a little bit not okay with it. So, but if you want to work for Neutrogena, you want to work with Nikki, she's okay with following up. So if you're pitching to her and she hasn't gotten back to you, you can follow up. And then you have to be very good at that also. Like you don't want to be blacklisted. Like I said, you do not want to burn the bridge you haven't walked on, because that's silly. So yeah. And then she also was nice to answer the question. I think Midori is the one to ask her that question, like when is a good time to pitch. She said pre-holiday season is very good, because like brains are scrambling to make sure they have content wisely, they have it together for the holiday and whatever. So pre-holiday season, like now, September, October. And it's true. Us as well, like as a festival, we are heavily fundraising for Pioneer Square Fest. So guarantee, yeah, pre-holiday season is actually when you want to start talking to brands. Okay. And then she was kind enough to provide some content idea per season. I'm gonna skip this. You can pause to read, but yeah, I'm skipping that. Okay, so the two last tips that I am willing to share, I feel like it will not make sense not to share them because they're really important. The first one is find your niches. And I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing right, but yeah, you have to find them. It's very important to you know what are your niches, and you can have as many as you want. But she said it's best not to have more than five. Nobody asked her why. I didn't ask her why, but I kind of figured it out because you want an audience that's gonna stick around. You don't want to have, because it's hard to build an audience. Build like a followers, build a community, right? I prefer saying community. So it's hard to build a community, and having a community that is made of people that are actually the same people. Like it's the same people that are watching all your videos, the same people that are interacting with you, asking you questions, commenting under your posts and whatever. That is, it takes a lot of time to do that. But then again, people are that community is going to be made around a theme, around an interest, right? So if you have a lot of different interests, right, a different passion, different hobbies that you are presenting to them, they might not, it might not, you might not get, instead of building one community, you might end up building like three different communities, right? So I feel like what she's trying to say is that don't do too much, because you want people that are going to stick around, people that are expecting, there's like a certain expectation that people will have, or you want to train them to have a certain expectation for you or for the type of content that you put out. So I mean, this is me kind of guessing a little bit. I should have asked why five, not more than 10? Why? And then also it makes sense because, and that was a realization that I had when I came home and I was working on the video and trying to pick the tips that I wanted to share with you guys, and it just made sense. It just was like a, oh my god, this makes so much sense now. It's like, well, your content is not your whole life, right? It's not everything you like. It's just a portion of it. Meaning you decide that this is my hobby, this is what I'm passionate about, and I want to share with the world, right? I want to create a community. Let's just forget about even sharing with the world, because yes, everybody have access to it, but you're trying to build a community around that, right? You're trying to interact with people that are interested in the same thing, and then kind of like teach them how to do it. If it's like, for example, crocheting, you want to teach them how to do it. Whether it's about styling themselves, you want to teach them how to style themselves. What if it's about like business, you want to teach them how to create a business and stuff like that. So you're not just putting stuff out there. You're actually trying to build a community, and the community will be behind one interest, right? People is gonna stick around, and you want them to stick around and expect that one thing. And you can be much more than that. And then you have another group of people that will come to you for that other thing. And so you're trying to build, if you're putting more than one niche out there, then you building more than one community, and that's okay. And there might be some cross, some people that will be doing liking both, or liking all three, or liking only two, or liking only one, and it's okay, right? It's okay to do that, but you have to have that expectation that you're building much more than one community. And that's what you're doing when you're doing all of those. When you're a content creator, you're trying to build a community. I feel like a lot of people go in there thinking, oh, I'm creating I'm gonna have fans. I feel like, and if this is how you feel about it, then this is how you feel about it. I mean, I'm not here to judge you, and nobody should judge you for that. This is how you feel about it, so yeah, this is how you feel about it. And then, but if you feel overwhelmed with this, you're like, oh no, I'm building a community around this hobby of mine or this passion of mine, and that's it, right? Makes it easy. And then also, for me per se, that realization makes it easier for me to kind of want to make more videos, to be out there and show that aspect, because it's just one aspect of my life. I'm doing a lot of things and I'm not willing to share that, but I'm willing to share this. I'm going to events and I'm learning what I'm learning about and why I went there, and then what I got from there, why you should also go out there and meet people and try to figure it out, to improve your career, be part of a community, and all of that. So this was really nice to kind of have that light bulb moment. And then another thing that you said about niches is that once you figure out your niche, it'll also help you figure out your keywords, and this should be the next step. Once you figure out your niche, you have to figure out what your keywords are. And if you know your keywords, use them in the hashtags, because that's how you're telling brands, those are my keywords, so that when they're working with you and they're making a campaign with you, they know how to market it, right? Because they need keywords. And also it helps kind of like bring that click in someone's head that, oh, your community is made of people that like this and that, those are the interests that people in your community have, which is cool. And then final final advice is, if you're a starting creator and you're trying to reach out to brands and all that, I mean, hey, pitch. It doesn't matter where you are at your level. You can. I don't know. I'm not gonna go ahead and exaggerate, but I will. I feel like I want to exaggerate. You can have 0 followers and still be able to do things for brands. You know what I mean? And the way you could do it is by being a UGC content creator. Oh no, UGC creator. So if you do UGC, the thing is that it's like you're a paid actor. This is what she said. Like, it's like you're a paid actor, right? It's like you are, yeah, it's kind of like that. Because you just say you pay to create content so the content the brand can post it on the social media. So it's like you're a paid actor. It's like you went to a casting and they hired you and say, hey, now grab the thing and say those words like, this is such a very soft to the touch, blah 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 type of skincare, or lotion, moisturizer. It's moisturizing. This is why they expect you to say. So you need to be comfortable with speaking in front of the camera, saying the things that they're telling you to say. Like, you should. I feel like this is really best if you kind of like want to work on your sales script or your sales skills, because that's basically what you're doing. And if you don't like it, then do a lot of organic content that's similar to the content that you want to do. So like, let's say for example, I think there was a question about it, like if you're doing reviews, right? And then you do reviews of product and you purchase it with your own money, and you can reach out to the brand and be like, or I think I remember well now. Like, let's say you use some products, right? And you want to do contents about them because you usually do reviews and whatever. So you can reach out to the brand and be like, I usually use this brand, this product. I'm a content creator and I like to do reviews, and I'm about to do, or I did a review and I wanted to share it with you guys, and they might use it and they kind of share it on their thing. They might not pay you for that. I mean, I think they won't pay you for that because you're reaching out to them and can give it to them. But what you can get out of it is to get, like, you can get free products from, from them, or like be added to the PR list. So next time that they have a launch, then I mean, basically from what I got from this event, like all the other event that I went to, is that you should not expect things to come to you. You should go to it. If you want it, seek it. So if you want to be on PR list, then reach out to them and show the value that you will bring, right? It will say, hey, I already used your product. I already did a couple of videos about your product. I really love it. Could I be on your PR list? Can I do this and that and that? Or sometimes they will just send it to you for free. Yeah. So yeah. And then also tag them, because she didn't say that, but this is my last thing. She did say something about like they have a sort of software, and I've been to another event where someone that built a similar software was pitching. So she was saying that they have a software where they can kind of monitor wherever that they mention. So tag them. You reviewing their product for free, tag them. Put the hashtags. Yeah. You should be on a PR list, right? Anyway, so this is all for today, guys. This was a really nice event. I'm looking forward to go to another one, and she's a good friend of mine, so you already know I'm there to support. Plus, I love the entire thing. It's like, for me, it's such like a known sphere.